Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm doing a very quick tutorial of how I use my lipstick as blush. This year I've really been honing in on trying to use makeup in new and different and creative ways, and one of my favorite things to do has been to use makeup in ways that it was not necessarily intended. So let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial. All right, so you'll probably notice that I have everything done on my face aside from cheeks. I don't have bronzer, highlighter, or blush on my cheeks yet, and I have not powdered my face down. I have found over time that with the majority of my lipstick formulas, when I'm using them as blushes, it works best and they go on the most seamlessly when I do not already have my face powdered. So that's something to keep in mind if you're someone who normally powders your face after foundation or concealer. You may want to skip that or do some trial and error with your particular lipstick formula. So that's where I'm at right now. I do have foundation and concealer on my cheeks, but no color cosmetics there. So first here, I'm gonna give a couple recommendations of lipstick formulas that have worked particularly well for me in the past. But I just wanna preface it by saying that there is no reason for you not to try this with the lipstick that you already have. Most colors that look flattering on your lips will also be flattering on your cheeks. So if you like how one of your lipsticks looks on you as a lipstick, there's a pretty good chance you're also going to like it as a blush. I just want to share a couple suggestions here of formulas that have worked well for me, so that if there are any of you who don't have a lipstick already that you want to try this with, I want to provide just a few suggestions of where to start. My first suggestion is the color that's on my lips, and it's also the one I'll be using for this tutorial today. This is the Mented Semi-Matte Lipstick in the shade Pretty in Pink. This is a perfect example of what you're looking for. This shade of like peachy pink looks really, really nice on my lips, and it's in a formula that is not too glossy, not too sheer, and not too matte. So it's kind of sits right in between everything. It's that semi-matte or satin formula that tends to work best, at least on my dry skin, for this technique. So that is the lipstick we'll be using today, but just for a couple other super quick recommendations, I also think that the MAC Cream Sheen lipstick formula is great for this. The e.l.f. Cosmetics Seriously Satin lipstick formula is a great formula as well. The Kosas Weightless lipstick is also a really great contender if you happen to own this one. The Milani Color Statement lipstick is another one of my all-time favorites for this. It's such a good formula. It sits right in between matte and cream, so it really is that satin finish. And it's not so overly pigmented or so sheer that it either is overwhelming or blends away. It's right in the middle. I think that's such a good, affordable option. So those are my top recommendations if you just aren't sure where to start. But if you look through your collection, what you're wanting to kind of identify is when you swatch a lipstick on the back of your hand. So again, I'm going back to that Mented one, the one on my lips. If you swatch like a big swath of the lipstick on the back of your hand, it should have a little bit of that sheen, but it should not be glossy. So if you have a lipstick that performs that way, you'll be good to go. And if it's in a color that you think is flattering and that you would like to have on your cheeks, you're good to go. So this is actually the first step. I always take the bullet of the lipstick and I just run it across my hand multiple times. I then take a duo fiber stipple brush. In this case, this one's from e.l.f. It's $4. It's really affordable and I'll link it down below. But the important thing is that it's not dense and it has these tiny little otherly colored fibers on the top that are even thinner than a normal bristle of a brush. And that will help to make sure you do not over deposit the pigment from the full pigment lipstick onto your cheeks. So once you have your little swatch, I just dab my brush in here until it's kind of coated in the pigment. And then I tend to stamp off a little bit of the excess on my hand before going straight onto my cheeks. So there it is, built up kind of just to one layer. I'm gonna over apply a little bit today from what I would do like on a regular basis, just so that you all can see what it looks like. But you can see it gives me really nice natural flush. Absolutely, it just looks like a cream cheek product, in my opinion. So I swatched way more than I need here. I was just trying to show you kind of the texture you're looking for, but you just really need the smallest amount for this to work, so don't overdo it. Okay, so there you have it, a really nice monochromatic moment going on. Now, I mentioned that typically I like to do this before I powder my face, so at this point I would go ahead and powder if I wanted to. I also have never had any trouble using powder, bronzer, or highlighter on top of the blush after the fact. So if you prefer powder products for those, go for it. It shouldn't be an issue. I am in the mood for all creams today, so I'm actually going to really quickly apply the bronzer and the highlighter from my Alma Beauty Double Take Contour Stick, just so that I can give you a more complete picture of how this looks once you have other cheek products on as well. Okay, so here we are all wrapped up with that bronzer and highlighter added as well for kind of a complete makeup look. I do personally think that doing a monochromatic look with lipstick as blush oftentimes means that you can get away without doing other color cosmetics on your cheeks. I think it looks so natural to have that monochromatic look going on, and you could really tone down the blush and just do a very, very light wash of it. But for those of you who like a more complete, full makeup look, I wanted to show you what that looked like as well. I hope this video was helpful for you today, and I also hope you'll consider subscribing before you go today if you have not already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.